welcome you all here tonight. We're here to honor one of our own, a fellow veteran, and he's become a good friend of mine since he's been in our post. The first time I met him, he was feeding his face. It hasn't changed. Phil, would you bring your lovely wife up with you? And tonight, Phil, I met him about a year and a half ago. He was transferring from another post, and I snagged him. And he has been an asset ever since. Come on in. He's my second vice commander, and he has jumped in and done a tremendous amount of work with us. He's helped make this post what it is today. He gave it character. And he is a character. So without any more delay, I want to let Phil tell his story, and then I'll finish it up.
That's great. Yeah. B7. Every time I get a hold on these, what I call bingo. You know, I'm kind of at a disadvantage now because I've got friends here from school, friends from American Legion, friends from church, and my family. So I don't have anything to talk about because I'm going to be behind the 8 ball all the way around. No, I'm really glad you guys came tonight. This is kind of special to me. Never had the opportunity to do this. And some of you may or may not know, I started out as a child. And I'd just like to tell you a little bit about myself, because I think that had a lot to do with my military actions. Born in Mount Vernon, and I was brought home to a little 7-acre mini farm, but it was everything that the family needed. We milked cows, had hogs, chickens, and it was downtown Puckerville. And Puckerville was a big city of 2 houses, and right across the road was a hand water pump and a stone foundation. Well, when my mother was a child, that stone foundation was a one-room school of Lafayette. And the house across the road was also a general store. So there was a little bit of history there. And in 1954, we moved over to a 130-acre farm and to a 5-year-old. Man, I'll tell you, that was half the world. I had a lot of fun over there. That fall, started a school. I went to Bennington Liberty School in Appleton. And they must not have liked it because they tore it down after I left. I had a lot of good memories there. I broke my tooth off there, and I had a broken leg. Sure did miss that place. Anyway, in 7th and 8th grade, they bused us down to Alexandria. And I went there 7th, 8th grade. Halfway through my freshman year is when we consolidated with Croton and Homer. That's when they consolidated, made Northridge School. That was in 68 or 63. And finished high school. And in 60 or 61, Carl and Sarah Heflin moved in next to us and brought their children, Marcia and Mike. And oh, I'll tell you what, she was a sweetheart. She was the same age as my youngest sister. Mike and I was the same age. So we really had a good time growing up. Even as hard as it was on the farm, you found time to play and have a good time. And in high school, I even dated Marcia a little. I think you look over on the table, there's a picture of us when we went to the prom. That was my sister-in-law's prom. And before I went into service, I broke up with Marcia because I didn't want either one of us getting a bad letter. Oh, yeah, she said it just broke her to pieces. But went into, Mom took me down to Granville. I enlisted in 67. and caught the Lakeshore City bus down in Granville and in front of the drugstore. That's the first bus I was ever on that big. And we went over to Fort Hays Induction Center, and they invited me to get on an airplane. That was also the first airplane I was ever on. It was a big old 4-prop Delta. That's when you had to walk across the tarmac and go up the ladder to get on the airplane. So we flew this rickety plane down to Atlanta, Georgia, and got on a nice fancy jet and flew up to Columbia, South Carolina. And I was at Fort Jackson, South Carolina for basic. Oh, we got another one, thank you. But yeah, it wasn't too tough. You know, we worked hard on the farm, so we knew we had to work hard for basic too. And see, after basic, Mom, Dad, and my younger sister come down to camper and picked me up, and we come home. I had 30-day leave. Then I got sent to Aberdeen, Maryland. 63H20, I was a wheel truck mechanic. That was a 14-week course. And of course, you wasn't allowed to come home any farther than 50 miles from where you were stationed. And you know, the way I obey orders, we drove 440 miles to get home most every weekend. So you know, I was breaking rules back in. And about the 10th week, I imagine, my brother was in National Guard. Him and my sister-in-law come out, and he was taking exactly the same course I was. So I got to visit with them on weekends, and after that, they wouldn't let us go home for a leave. I got sent straight to New Jersey, Trenton, New Jersey, Fort Dix, and got shipped to Germany. I was over there for 18 months. So I didn't get to see the folks for a long time. I was stationed just outside of Heidelberg. Real nice company. I enjoyed Germany a whole lot. Got to travel most of the southern part. I was down in Innsbruck, Austria. Got to go to Holland for a little vacation, and it was just magnificent. I'd love to go back again, but terrorists has got me scared. But I thought, well, I'm getting pretty short on time now. I had just close to a year left, and Dad's burned if I didn't get orders to go to Vietnam. So I thought, well, at least I get to go home and see the family again. So got a 30-day leave. We was flying back from Germany, and the oil line busted on our jet, and one of our engines burned up, so we had to land in Iceland. When we was there for 14 hours. It wasn't very good when you want to get home real quick. But the Air Force wasn't kind enough to feed us. And I can remember going in, of course, he was tired and didn't want to listen to too much anyway. So we was getting ready to go into the mess hall, and I had my coat unbuttoned, had my greens on. And Air Force colonel stopped me and he said, "Soldier, why you got your coat unbuttoned?" And I said, "Well, sir, I'm going to eat. I figured if I spilled something on my tie, I could button my coat and cover it up." He said, "Button your damn coat." So he didn't have much of a sense of humor. You'd think it was his airplane that broke. But anyway, we did get home and had a lovely time at home, and then got shipped to Fort Lewis out in Washington. And that's the first time I ever touched an M16 machine gun. Wasn't so glad whether I needed to or not. But anyhow, we had about a week out there, and got shipped to Vietnam. And of course, when you step off that shiny jet there at Cam Ranh Bay, the heat just smacked you in the face something awful. You were scared to start with. Well, I was. I don't know if other people was or not. But after 3 or 4 days there, they sent us to our company, and I got shipped up to Chu Lai. It's in I Corps, up toward Da Nang. And from there, I got sent about 50 miles south to a little place called Duc Pho. It's just a little hole in the wall. But evidently, the Vietnamese had it zeroed pretty good because we got hit with mortars and rockets a lot. I don't know if anybody ever shot at me, but if I had a catcher's mitt, I could have caught a lot of rockets. but spend most of our time filling sandbags and potholes. But I tell you what, I found time to appreciate that too. It makes you think a little harder at home and how you was brought up. It wasn't near as bad as what you thought it was when you went in. We was building an LZ, a landing zone, out of Quang Nai, and I was instrumental in going out there and helping to set that up. We was building a motor pool out there, which is what I was in. The last couple of months I spent out there, and I didn't really get along too well with my motor sergeant. And one day, our officer come in, and that's the first time I met him. And we got to talking, asked him, I said, it was about noon, about lunchtime. And I said, would you like a beer? And he said, well, yeah. He said, you got any? And I said, yeah. He said, well, I really like it cold. And I said, well, I just happen to have ice on mine. You learned if you took care of the mess hall, you could get about what you wanted. So I had a lot of ice and stuff to cool my beer off. But he said, I'd like for you to come to the back. And I said, I can't do that, sir. I said, I don't get along with the motor sergeant. He said, well, won't give you direct order. He said, you be up on the chopper pad in the morning. And I said, yes, sir. So when I went up the chopper pad the next morning, I was getting ready to fly back, and here that motor sergeant got sent out there. So I never seen him again after I went to the back. So evidently that officer didn't care much for him either. But anyway, come home, and I'm real proud of that too. I had all my parts, and I feel so sorry for my brothers and sisters that didn't, that had problems and still maybe have problems. I'd like to be instrumental in helping them. But I got home, and after 32 years, Marcia and I finally got back together. It's been one of the best trips I ever had, sweetheart. Thank you.
There you go.
And boy, we've done that for half time. But you know, I kind of wish that every young person not would have to, but would take the opportunity to help support their country, to get out there and instead of complain about it, learn why you would complain if you do. It's a big thing, and I tell you, like I said, this is one of the first times I had the opportunity to do this, and I feel very proud about it. And I'm glad to have all you folks backing me up, and I think that's what we do. And if it wasn't for family, I wouldn't have got this far. So I love y'all. I appreciate it. God bless you, man.
Wait a minute.
Side of the story.
I think it was probably better she didn't.
As Paul Harvey said.
My only thought is that God has been very instrumental in I'm a crier. All the ladies
Go
know
for it.
in the auxiliary that I'm a crier.
We love you, girl.
But God has been so instrumental in our being together. It was evidently not His plan to have us together all that time, but since we've been together, it's been amazing, and I thank God for
And
that.
I think we show it a lot. We have a lot of fun.
And I thank God for you guys too. I have just so enjoyed being part of the auxiliary. I just can't tell you enough how much I enjoy coming to the meetings and doing the stuff with the ladies and helping the Legion, and I really enjoy it.
Yay!
Hey Phil, can you tell us about your experience with the Chinook?
Always seen these guys hooking our cargo nets underneath, and I thought, I'd like to try that sometime. Well, I had just come in from that LZ to Quang Nai. For what reason, I have no idea. But anyway, I said, hey, could I hook that Chinook coming in? And the guy said, yeah, put these goggles on and go for it. Well, you couldn't wear your hat because they'd be in the next state by God. So I went out and got on top of this cargo net, and I don't know, it was probably 8 foot up. and here's this huge machine coming down over top of you. There's a little hole in the bottom of it, and this guy, I don't know if you're, a Chinook is a huge chopper. And here's this guy looking down through the hole, and he's guiding that pilot who seems like a football field away. And he'll settle right down over top of you, you hook this cargo net on,
Wow.
and jump off, and away they haul. And I'm gonna tell you what, that gives you a feeling. It's like you think you're gonna get hit on the freeway, but hey, it's a lot of fun, man.
You know, I have a picture of you looking at.
I wanna see it.
All right. You know, I had the privilege of meeting his mother during one of our events at the Presbyterian Church. And she told me a lot of stories. And she said, if you ever have the opportunity to honor Phil, I have a letter that he wrote me when he was in Vietnam. So, this is a handwritten letter from Phil, and he sent it home. It says, PFC White, APO Vietnam, to L. White, Loudon Road, Appleton, Ohio. And of course, it's got a Vietnamese stamp. Would you like to verify that? So, this was written in June of 1969.
You're not gonna make me cry, are you?
Here it is in the
Do I
letter.
need to get my
Dear
notes in?
Mom and Dad, sorry it took so long to write, but we have been moving around a lot and I have just had time to write. We are currently in Hui Valley and Sarge has been on my case. Last week, he asked me to get some potatoes for the guys on KP, so I took the Jeep to Long Gong Village for pickup, and on the way, I hit a strange cow. I will send pictures of the Jeep. The front corner is smashed, and the tire I am holding has a hole in it, as you will see. Sarge was so mad, he put me on KP. I also have to wear an Elvis costume and sing. Nothing but a hound dog. Every night. I was so upset, I almost cried for 5 minutes. But I have been peeling potatoes and have finally got them in a big box. I do have to do some political correct wording on this thing because Bill did use words back then that they do not mean to say this time. There was a big Chinook helicopter that came over and I had to hook up those potatoes under the helicopter. I am enclosing a picture of me hooking up those potatoes. I finally learned what a big, and I have to change the words here, what would be a good word? Blowhard is. When I stepped out from under the helicopter, it almost blew me away. It is so hot here that I wish I was back home on the farm where I don't have to do nothing. Better go now, Sarge is coming back, and I think he found my dirty socks. Love you all, your son, PFC White. Oops, Phil. But here, Phil, let this remind you of what you did.
Oh yeah, that was it.
So that was the picture your mom gave me, and here's your letter she gave you.
You know what, you're my hero.
That's awesome.
Have I got time for a story?
Absolutely, go for it.
I'd like to take y'all back to Puckerville in it was probably the mid-70s. You know, I did have Puckerville Pig and Poultry when I was over there. But this isn't about that, that's another story. I was working at Continental Can at the time, down in East Newark, and I thought, well, I think it's pretty tough, so I'll buy a motorcycle so I can save on gas. So in this process, I heard that the neighbors had lost a monkey. And the only thing I could think of, I worked midnights all the time, and I thought, boy, I got a big woods to go through. The only thing I can see is this big ape jumping on the back of my motorcycle going to work. So I made it for quite a few days, and this was in the fall, and I was mowing the yard one evening, and my son come around the back of the house, and he was pretty excited about something, so I shoved the mower off. And he said, Dad, he said, Wolf, which is our white German shepherd at the time, Wolf has got a monkey up a tree. So I said, okay. So he felt like his mother did. But anyway, I went around the house, and lo and behold, there was a dog leaning against a tree with a monkey up it. Well, it was right next to the barn, so this monkey jumped over on the barn. Well, not to be outdone, I went up the corner post and was up on the roof with him. And the monkey was down, sitting on one end of the barn, and I was sitting on the other end of the barn, I had that Asian set, you know, where you just kind of squat down. And the monkey was doing the same thing, so we looked pretty natural, I guess. And I was getting apples and stuff from people and tossing to this monkey, and he kept sliding down a little bit closer to me. Well, lo and behold, about an hour, and my front yard was full of people. I mean, I don't know where they come from, but it was full of people standing down there, and I thought, we don't need all this attraction. Well, thank God that was before the cell phones come out, so they couldn't call anybody, so I wasn't too worried about that. One guy did say, why don't we get a hold of the Utica Herald? I said, you guys stand tough down there, don't go nowhere. So it was getting cool in the night, this monkey kept sliding down the roof toward me. And I was afraid it would bite me or scratch me. So it got close enough, and I'd seen he didn't have very bad fingernails, so I thought, well, hell, all those dudes get bit. So I told somebody, I said, get me a blanket. So I laid it over my lap, and I was feeding this monkey. And pretty soon, lo and behold, he just climbed up in my lap. So I slipped my arms underneath this blanket, and I just crossed them real tight. And this monkey was squalling like I was choking it to death. And I told somebody to get me a feed sack. And I went down the edge of the roof and just jumped off. It was only about 5 foot off the ground. I shoved the monkey in the sack. And somebody there said, well, I've got a cage. I said, well, you've got a monkey to go in it. So I gave him the monkey, and I don't know whatever happened to it, but people got out of my yard dead. That's the monkey story. And if anybody don't believe that, I've got a picture of the motorcycle, a picture of me, a picture of my boy, and a picture of that monkey. That's all I've got to do. Right here it is.
I said, that's why you're always mucking around.
Right there at all three of us, and we're not related.
Oh, my goodness.
Go ahead and pass that around.
Does anybody have any questions for him?
I'll give you the top to that.
Really?
Thank you, Roy. Come from you, that means something.
Nothing but the best.
And you can always look at his pictures back here in the back in his Elvis costume, the Jeep where he hit the cow, all his pictures right back
Those
there.
weren't even his clothes, those were somebody else's clothes.
See, I was even poor in the army.
Bill, if you would. On behalf of American Legion Post 254, we'd like to give you this certificate of appreciation for your honorable service in the United States Army.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. This goes on to read, for service above and beyond the call of duty as an American citizen and service to our country, the United States Army, during the Vietnam War. Issued this day, 14th day of March 2018.
something. I want to thank everybody again for being here. This means a lot to me.
All right.
You two get together closer, please.
Don't push it, Sandy.
Let me get another one. Very good.
You don't want us honeyfuggling or nothing, do you?